because they made a move. They traded for sharpshooter Luke Kennard, three-point shooting, something that they desperately needed. They're basically bottom 10 in every category that you can think of. And Luke Kennard has been an excellent three-point shooter. Dave, what more can you tell us about the move that the Lakers made?
Well, the Lakers had limited assets they were willing to part with this trade deadline if they wanted to keep that first-round pick and maybe have 3 potentially that they could trade this summer, plus a ton of cap space. And so with the margins they were working with, they were able to get a guy who's shooting 50% from 3. The Lakers are 22nd in three-point percentage, 23rd in three-point makes per game. Kennard helps that. And now they look to potentially look at the 3 two-way players they have currently on their roster. They could make a move there and then kind of have a competition for their open roster spot between Drew Timme and whoever the other two-way player is that they acquire to decide who could maybe get the full-fledged spot. They could also waive a player. Maxi Kleber, they could waive to open up another roster spot, and then they can look at the buyout market. We've already seen Cam Thomas is an attractive name that's out there. I'm not saying he's going to be a Laker, but they want to see what players end up on that market.
When I talked to Cam Thomas, he said, I'm super excited. He feels like there's a lot that he could give to a team. You know, he's a walking bucket.
Oh, yes, he is.
Bet on himself, and now he's a free agent as he wanted to be. And whoever picks him up, they're going to get a score.
Dave, I got a question. Do the Lakers, how are they feeling? Like, do you get the sense that they feel like they have a legit shot at really going to the promised land this year?
They know that their top 3 players in Austin, LeBron, and Luka are a special trio, and they also recognize they only played 9 games together thus far this season. So they want to see what they can do. If they continue to grow, they continue to play for one another, and they give the requisite defensive effort and attention to the game plan, they think they can play with anybody. Now, they do recognize, though, that there is a talent gap, I think, for the rest of their roster compared to some of the deep teams like an OKC, like even some of the moves that Minnesota made at the trade deadline.
And we know that rotations shrink when you get to the postseason, but you have to get there in prime position, especially in a crowded Western Conference. But the Lakers are doing what they can with limited assets here. Are you surprised? First, and second, who do you think now is in a better situation moving forward? 2 players we thought could be on the move and are staying pat. Ja Morant or Giannis Antetokounmpo? DG, I'm looking at you first.
I feel like this is a trick question. I don't think either one of them in a great situation, but I would say Giannis, honestly. He has the opportunity to still get moved for some value. Ja's value has gone down quite a bit, and for the trade for destination for him, not many teams want him. But Giannis, I think they could find a way to turn it around and kind of rebuild that relationship. I don't see it happening soon, but they can do it. Memphis, I think they're kind of done there in Memphis.
Malik, you said, are you surprised? I am quite surprised that Josh remembers a member of the Grizzlies because we know that they're, what's the word Wendy says, retooling. But, and we knew that Giannis's contractual situation would make it much more complicated for teams to get it, but I do believe that Giannis is absolutely in a better position because he's going to sit out. They're going to have an opportunity to assess where they're going to go,
He might play.
Probably low. He might play, but either way, the better situation for him to resolve this contractually is in the offseason.
I'm going to go with Ja Morant. I'm going to go with Ja because you know why? It's an understanding there. The message has been sent that they're rebuilding, and he's not part of the plans. They were actually shopping him, so he don't have to worry and know and think and wonder. No. Just ride it on through, get healthy. But this offseason, you will be gone.
Well, Shams reported that multiple teams are interested in making an offer for Ja Morant, intrigued by his talent, but didn't quite get it over the finish line in terms of making that serious offer. Okay, well, now we have some moves that did happen. We had Jared McCain headed to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We also have Jose Alvarado, who we know Perk is a fan of, heading to the New York Knicks. Bigger impact, Shanae.
You know what? I'm going to go with Jose Alvarado, Grand Theft Alvarado, because the Knicks, their opportunity is defensively. That's where they've cracked down and really built a nice... Oh, wait, you're right. Let me put myself on the board right there. I'm going with the Knicks. They need someone that's tough, that holds them accountable for each and every game. And this guy, like you said, New York native, he's already a fan favorite in the NBA, but now to come back home and make an impact as they're making the push, going from a team with no expectations to the greatest, I like this right here.
Go ahead, DG.
Last year, I would have said OKC, but this year, I'm going to say the Knicks, because Jared McCain, since the injury, I haven't seen much of him get his rhythm yet. It's been tough for him, and he's a Duke kid, so. But Jose being back in New York, Christ the King, New York kid, I think this is a great pickup for them for their bench. He's going to make a really good impact for them. Wabusele is gone now, which I thought would have bigger impact this year. But with Deuce out, he's going to be huge for the Knicks.
Well, we know where Perk's going.
You damn right. When y'all go right, I go left. Put it right there. Nope. Jared McCain. Jared McCain, because we don't know how long J-Dub is going to be out.
Yeah.
SGA is out. You need somebody. And this guy's proven to be a 20-point scorer when he get the minutes and the touches.
Well, let me ask you this, Perk. Is this a NBA Finals preview?
Ooh.
OKC New York Knicks?
Oh, man, well, we can see it. We can see it. You know what I'm saying?
might be.
Knicks Pistons for sure. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be, you know what you like to say? A brawl for it all.
All right, we had a little bit of a split committee here on this. This is a look at the Eastern Conference play-in picture that we're seeing here. It is a Florida party up here, the Heat, the Magic. Then you have the Hawks, the Bulls perpetually in 10th here.
Yeah, I see them dropping.
Do you see them dropping, and the Hornets going into the play-in here, trying to make the first
Absolutely.
playoffs since 2016?
Yeah, I mean, they're balling. Picking up Kobe White, huge pickup for them. But even before that, Knuppel, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, and Miles, they all been playing very well at a high level. They beat some really big dogs. And they took down Denver. They beat OKC by 30. They beat Philly by 30. They beat a lot of good teams this year, and they're in 7 straight wins, 8 straight wins. They're moving in a really good direction.
I'm right there with you. This is a squad that finally has turned the corner. It seems like they're maturing. And like you mentioned, Knuppel is so much fun. Knuppel for triple. And yeah, go ahead, Perk.
Everything they said, I'm going with y'all.
Wait, everything Shanae said included a specific line.
Yeah, what did I say? Say it, Knuppel for triple.
Knuppel for triple.
There you go. That's the last
I
name.
ain't showing none of my nipples. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, look, go ahead, Malik, you got to show them.
Oh, man.
You're making me
Woo time.
after that?
No,
All
we
right.
don't need that.
Who has the better
Save that for
duo
Richard.
then? Yeah, well, 80 and Trey or Halliburton and Zubats? We got some new, same faces, new places. Again, we know that this could be next year, not this year, but we got some interesting Eastern Conference duos here.
Let me go first.
All right.
Put mine right there in Chocolate City, D.C. I'm going AD and Trey. Like
AD and Trey?
we saw what Clint Capella was doing with Trae Young. Anthony Davis, a guy that could mix it up, pick and pop, still playing at an all-NBA level when he's available. Trae Young still one of the best assist guys in the game. Just because of AD athleticism, I'm going to give the edge to that duo.
I'm going to go Hallie and Zoo, because keyword said when he's available. These guys are more available. Next year, if Hallie comes back strong, and Zoo, this is a really good duo. Anthony Davis and Trey, they have the talent, but I just said I get both of them.
Ooh.
They've had some injury.
Tiebreaker.
I love being tiebreaker. It makes me so happy. Guess
Drum roll,
what,
please.
Perk? Perk, you know you're my brother, right?
Yeah.
I'm not right. I'm not going with you. I'm not going with you.
There you go.
I'm going here. It's crazy because of how circumstances have fallen that this is a team that was just in the NBA Finals, but I like this pairing. Halliburton, when he gets back, this guy was unguardable for the postseason, the hardest time of basketball. And Zubats, I feel like he's one of the most underrated, great pick-and-roll players. Can you imagine that offense?
Can I ask a question?
Okay,
I thought you were
yes,
gonna say
you may.
Kane
Can I ask a question? Halliburton, we still got to see what he looked like coming off the.
Are you worried about Tatum?
No, I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
saying we
I have
got
no worries.
They got depth. Pascal, Obi Toppin, T.J.
Yep.
McConnell off the bench. Those guys coming back with Hallie. That's a good group. And picks.
Yeah.
We said the duo.
Well, their question was going to be, what do they look like when Tyrese Halliburton comes back? They're looking pretty good. And you know what? We're getting some ringing endorsements here from the Indiana contingency. Caitlin Clark has weighed in.
We tried to tell you, Perk.
Saying the Pacers
Tried to tell you, Perk.
2027 world champions. She's liking the move
Right.
that Indiana made there today with Ivica Zubats headed to the Pacers from the Clippers here. The Clippers have officially changed course, though, on their NBA voyage. Do we dare say the word? It appears they're headed towards a
rebuild.
Yes, it does. From the end of last season, the Clippers have moved on from 3 of their 4 leading scorers, James Harden, Ivica Zubats, Norm Powell in the offseason. So now that leaves one. It leaves Kawhi Leonard and a whole lot of questions about what their future looks like. The Clippers were very, very active, solidly looking like a lottery team. But how surprising is it, Ramona, that they didn't move on from Kawhi?
I'm not surprised. Kawhi has 1 year left on his deal. Kawhi in a contract year is pretty good. Usually, he won a championship the last time that happened. I think they've been signaling this for a while by moving Norm Powell rather than giving him an extension, by not giving James Harden that the guaranteed money in his second year. There was a unguaranteed contract, which is kind of why they got to this point. That's a signal, like, we're drawing the line in the sand. We only have a certain window here. That window is closing. And there's a recognition there that they don't have a lot of draft capital to start a rebuild with. And so now they have some. It's hard to move on from Zubac. You know, he's the longest tenured Clipper there. He's a very popular guy there. But they got 2 first-round picks, pretty good first-round picks for him, and a young player in Ben Mathurin, who's a former lottery pick. I also think, you know, when you look at the Clippers, they have to have a future. So if you're going to do a rebuild, remember, Bobby, I hate to bring this up. I'm sorry to do this to you, but
bring it on.
When the Brooklyn Nets tried to do that rebuild, I remember seeing Sean Marks one day, and they were in the middle of that, and I was like, how you doing? And he's like, well, we don't have our picks for the next few years.
Right.
It's kind of hard to start a rebuild when you don't even have any picks to do. They don't even get to keep their pick. It goes to Oklahoma City. So now they have something to work with.
Do we have an expectation that Kawhi is going to be on this team beyond the next couple of months?
Let's see how he feels about it. I mean, I was there last night, and I think he said something interesting. Somebody asked him a question. I forget who it was that asked and said, you know, how was your communication with the front office on these moves? And, you know, he said, well, I kind of found out when you found out. It was in the middle of the game. Usually they tell me, but it was kind of happened fast. You know, I don't know how involved he is in all this. He understands what's going on, but they didn't just. They're not just tanking. They got Darius Garland and Ben Mathurin. But it's difficult for them now because you're starting to rebuild and you got rid of 2 very popular players.
Shout out to Will Dawkins. I think what the Washington Wizards have done has been outstanding. I was in Washington when Trey got picked up. Then you get Anthony Davis, but neither one of them, I'm not expecting them to play. Alex Sarr's been amazing. The rest of the young guys are talented, and then they get their first-round pick. I really like that the Wizards are finally somebody we're talking about again.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're looking at, again, teams that maybe are looking a little bit more like they're going for the